The story of Indiana Youth Group really begins with a call for help, a search for hope and understanding. In 1987, two volunteer counselors at the Indianapolis Gay and Lesbian Switchboard, Chris Gonzalez and Pat Jordan, discovered they were receiving an alarming number of calls from youth in distress. At the time, there were no real support resources for these youth. This void inspired Gonzalez and Jordan to take action.
Chris Gonzalez was an incredibly driven person, very passionate, and very dedicated to youth and trying to create a safe place for youth. He had a very big vision.
Chris Gonzalez and his partner Jeff Werner began hosting an LGBTQ+ youth support group in their home. Attendance grew rapidly, and eventually the group turned into a weekly social and educational meeting. The group also moved from the Gonzalez-Werner home to the old Damien Center. Group outings soon followed, with popular events like skating parties, Sunday socials, and even group trips to national health conferences and the 1993 March on Washington. The group was officially incorporated as the Indianapolis Youth Group with the state of Indiana and the IRS as a nonprofit organization in 1989. The 1990s would be a time of great growth and change for IYG. Generous grants allowed IYG to launch HIV prevention education programs and the operation of a youth switchboard. IYG's peer counseling hotline became the first toll-free switchboard for LGBTQ+ youth in the nation. In its first year, the hotline received 45,000 calls from youth in distress.
In the early years of IYG, there was so much focus on helping youth who were struggling with anxiety, depression, families who turned them away. And the suicide rates were enormous. I mean, we would run a hotline where people would call in and we would come at night and answer any calls. People would call in from all over the country. There would be kids from Iowa or California, even in New York, everywhere. And they were calling here to IYG in Indiana because IYG in Indiana was able to provide support and help and emotional guidance for them.
In 1992, additional funding from the Health Foundation of Indianapolis allowed IYG to purchase a house near 46th Street and Benford Boulevard. IYG would call it home for the next 25 years.
And this is 2020.
As the years continued, IYG would gain national attention for the organization's cutting-edge programs and was featured on ABC's 2020 program. The early 1990s also saw the organization grow to include several new programs such as the IYG Pen Pal program, the Prom, which continues to be a popular annual event, and the Street Outreach program, which was revitalized in 2001. It is estimated that over 5,000 youth were reached by IYG programming and events in the organization's first 6 years of existence. The agency's impact on youth during these early days was immeasurable.
Going to IYG and what it really gave me was a sense of, not so much like a sense of purpose, but like a sense of home. Like I felt like I could be myself. I felt like there were people there who actually cared, that I was feeling, awkward or left out at school or anything along those lines, that, they really had the people who could counsel me and let me know, hey, it's okay to be who you are and it's okay to like what you like.
On May 5th, 1994, tragedy struck when IYG's visionary leader Chris Gonzalez passed away. His death came as a great shock. Chris's partner Jeff Werner was determined to carry on Chris's legacy and continued as executive director until October of 1996 when he resigned for health reasons. Jeff would pass away just months later in January of 1997.
Jeff was very quiet. He was a soft-spoken person, definitely not a leader at heart, but stepped up when he had to be. Chris and Jeff were just really good people. That was a time where it wasn't easy to be a gay couple or to be gay in general, especially and be out. But they wanted to make sure that people knew that gay people were here, we did exist, and that we were building for a stronger future.
Determined to carry on Chris and Jeff's vision for LGBTQ+ youth, a new executive director was hired. IYG's name was also changed to reflect its reach beyond Indianapolis, becoming the Indiana Youth Group.
I think the one thing that I would like people to know about IYG, both past and present, is that IYG has always been and will always be here to support LGBTQ youth, and that we are here to create better selves of the people who came in the door.
The late 2000s were another period of great growth. In 2008, IYG began offering specialty license plates through the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles. The plates helped to provide additional income for the agency, as well as spread awareness and a message of support. By 2016, the Indiana Youth Group had outgrown the place they had called home for 2 decades. A capital campaign raised $2.6 million and made it possible for IYG to purchase a new building where it continues to grow and thrive. Under the guidance of current CEO Chris Paulson, IYG launched their Basic Needs program. Reflecting upon the legacy of the old street outreach program, Basic Needs provides support and resources for youth experiencing homelessness and a lack of vital resources. In addition to Basic Needs, IYG offers a greater range of educational and social programming for another generation of Indianapolis's LGBTQ+ youth.
I'm so, proud and impressed that this organization has come this far. I mean, this is an incredibly big and beautiful building with incredible staff who are dedicated to help people grow and develop into amazing adults. So much happens under this roof, and it's all about being proud and growth and empowerment and helping people become who they should be.
A lot has happened since Chris Gonzalez answered a call from a youth who had nowhere else to turn for love and belonging. Indiana Youth Group has certainly come a long way since its founding many years ago, but IYG never strayed from its mission of providing support and improving the lives of Indiana's LGBTQ+ youth. IYG is here to answer the call with love, support, and a hope for the future.